Hello, dear Eritreans and my fellow compatriots. Here is an English version that I would like to address concerning my stand on the recent President Trump's decision about the city of Jerusalem. Yesterday, I produced a similar video version, which is in Tigrinya. Then I thought it's good if I extended it in English. Therefore, here I'm coming with the same message to clear my stand. What is on the Trump's declaration of Jerusalem to be as a capital city of Israel, as well as to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. This is my statement. The decision taken by President Donald Trump of recognizing Jerusalem as capital city of Israel and to move U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem by ignoring the two-state solution is illegal and undermines the rights of Palestinians to live in peace and dignity in their own homeland. As an Eritrean human rights defender and political activist, I reject Trump's decision both from human rights perspective as well as international agreements. In addition, from historical responsibility that I have as an Eritrean citizen. This is my stand and my reasoning why I reject Trump's decision, as I have said, is first of all from the human rights perspective, as well as international agreements that recognizes the right of Palestinian people to live in their own sovereign state, the Palestine. And in addition, as an Eritrean who know what the Palestinians are passing through and what the Palestinians did to my people to recognize us as an independent nation, and who supported us throughout our struggle for independence, we have a responsibility, or a historical responsibility, to be on the side of Palestinian people so that we support their struggle for self-determination, their struggle for their rights, their struggle for their dignity, to live in peace where they belong. And Jerusalem, within the international agreement, the two-state solution, is a shared city, and the Palestinians feel that Jerusalem is part of their values, part of their dignity, part of their rights, and they have no other home that they can declare throughout their life in this area. And in addition, it is good if I try to make a link, a historical link between Eritrea and Palestine, and how much we Eritreans were supportive to the cause of the Palestine people, as they did to us during our struggle for independence. And when we started our armed struggle to get rid of Ethiopia occupation from Eritrea, the Palestine people supported us without any precondition like most of the Arab countries. Unlike this, Israel didn't support us, and it rejected our rights to be recognized as independent country. Not only this, but they support Ethiopia both militarily, logistically, and by giving advice to the military almighty of Ethiopia to squeeze or to eliminate the ongoing struggle in the field of Eritrea. Since 1966, maybe there could be some discrepancy on the year, Israel military forces came into Eritrea along with Ethiopia to train Eritreans and Ethiopians to have a modern military capability and technology and fight for those Eritreans who were voicing or who were standing for their rights in the field. As a result, more than 3,000 soldiers were trained by Israel forces, and those soldiers didn't spend time to burn villages, to kill innocent Eritreans, and to open war wherever there were freedom fighters. And this continued until 1991, not only giving training or advices at a military level, but it has supplied most disastrous military equipments and chemicals to kill Eritreans. And as history tells us, the cluster bomb which has been used by the Derg regime, the Mengistu Haile Mariam, was supplied by Israel, and it has been used against Eritreans to kill them while they were in their homeland. And those who were fighting for the liberation of Eritrea, the ELF, Eritrean Liberation Front, and the EPLF, Eritrean People's Liberation Front, they were against Zionism or the State of Israel. They were against the American imperialism, and they were also against this capitalism. Maybe that could be a fashion, they were following a communist ideology, but they had this stand that helped them to get help or sympathy from the Arabic world, and the Palestinians were very supportive of our struggle. Unfortunately, when we got our independence, the one who led to the final days, the APLF, didn't spend to make a diplomatic relationship with Israel, and there is an article which was written in 1992 that says Eritreans or APLF considered Israel to be as a model in the development aspect that the Eritreans were looking after. This is an article that was written in the Washington Post. Emerging Eritrea finds friendship and a model in Israel. And this article, I will share to you later, has outlined Eritreans did an agreement in many areas like agriculture, military technology, the air force, etc. And not only this, in 1993, the now President Isaias Afwerki, the unelected President Isaias Afwerki, went to Israel for medical help. And at the same time, Eritrea opened its embassy in Israel, as well as Israel opened its embassy in Eritrea, creating a diplomatic link. And the US had a role as a broker between Israel and Eritrea. Of course, Israel had no any other option, as Eritrea won its independence, and the main fear of Israel was against the Arab countries, and they had in mind Eritrea is mainly an Islamic Muslim people, and if they let Eritreans to have a link with the Arab world, maybe it may affect their security. Who knows? EPLF, the successor, did a secret agreement with Israel, and it could have assured them that it may fight against any Muslims or the Arab countries, and Eritrea will be free from any influences. And there are many evidences that show us that Eritrea had fought against what she declared the jihadists since independence, and this was an open war that Eritrea did with Sudan along the borderline with Sudan and Eritrea. And there is no doubt that Eritrea had played a role with Israel. And this is a general background. And when we come to the relationship between Eritrea and Palestine, Eritrea until now is not recognizing Palestine as a sovereign state. And in 2011, they made it clear that they reject any recognition for the state of Palestine. And here is a document, an editorial document that the Eritrean television produced in 2011. It is in Arabic as well as in English, in Tigrinya. Those who can understand in Arabic, that's okay, and in Tigrinya, that's okay. And those who cannot understand both, I will provide you the link to know what the statement they had.
موقف إريتريا القانوني والسياسي والمعنوي تجاه قضية الشعب الفلسطيني. إن دعم الحكومة والشعب الإريتري لحق تقرير مصير الشعب الفلسطيني ثابت ولا يتغير مع الوقت ولا الأوضاع، ولا ينبع من المحبة والاختيار، بل هو واجب. لذا فإن الحكومة والشعب الإريتري يدعم إقامة دولة فلسطينية مستقلة وذات سيادة، لأن تقرير مصير الشعب الفلسطيني لا يتحقق بغير ذلك. وإيمانا من الحكومة الإريترية بأن الحديث عن حل الدولتين وسياسة فرض الأمر الواقع وحملات العلاقات العامة.
This is the Arabic version that states Eritrea rejects in principle the two-state solution, and it did the same in the vote that was organized by the United Nations in 2011.
وزارة الشؤون الخارجية 4 أغسطس 2011.
وصا إرترا حقاوي بوليتيكاون مورالون مسرت مرقص إرترا أبقداي فلسطين دقف حزب منقستن إرترا نفتحوي مسر سوساني حزب فلسطين مسجزين كونتاتن زي قلابت حريان فتاون زي كوني قديتاي بس مسرت فتحوي مسر سوساني حزب فلسطين كم قالوت زي كوني بمولو لاونت زلوا ناس فلسطين تراي سلز الرقاقت حزبن منقستن إرترا حزب فلسطين مولو لولاوي ناس هاجر كلو يدقفو منقست إرترا فتح كل هاجرات مال تو ستيت سولوشن سبحال كوني بوليتيكا كون فتصم وي أمر واقع مالت accomplished facts ويون كالي زمتتات حزبوي ركبات نتو قداي نمبرازن جزين ممتاتن فتن مهوتتي مرزي سلازخوني أي دقفون عبناي معرباوي قماقمن دفع القربية قزان مرقسيتاتن بوليتيكان شارنت موساد كوني عبزمت مسكرم أبحفشة وأخيبا حبورات هاقرات كدمت قلو أبز حساب زلو قداي مفلاتن زي مفلاتن مالت ريكوغنيشن ناهيز باوي ركبات موسواس مقبار نمنقست إرترا ترقمو يرعيون منستري قدايات وصعي أسمرا 4 حسيكل تشحن 10 حدن.
Here in this document, they have clearly indicated, in this editorial, they have clearly indicated they reject the two-state solution. And there is another very important document that shows the Eritreans' stand on the Palestinian issue. And in the vote that has started since 1988, which recognizes Palestine as a state, until today, there are about 136 countries that officially recognize Palestine as a state, and Eritrea is not in the list. In the contrary, what Eritrea says is really it's a betrayal of history, and it is just a lame excuse which jeopardizes the international agreement. Here, President Isaias Afwerki says why he rejects the Palestine state resolution. To read for you, President Isaias Afwerki, the dictator, it's okay as a status I use president, but his dictatorial Isaias Afwerki has stated that his government does not recognize Palestine. In October 2010, he stated Israel needs a government. We must respect this. The Palestinians also need to have a dignified life, but it cannot be the West Bank or Gaza. A two-state solution will not work. It is to fool people. Israelis and Palestinians living in the same nation will never happen for many reasons. One option that may work is a Transjordan. Israel may be left in peace, and the Palestinians and Jordanians peoples are brought together and they can create their own nation. In his address to the United General Assembly in 2011, that was held in New York, Afwerki states that Eritrea reaffirms its long-standing support to the rights of the Palestinian people to self-determination and an independent sovereign state. It also upholds the right of Israel to live in peace and security within internationally recognized boundaries. On 29 November 2012, Eritrea voted in favor of a resolution to make Palestine a non-member observer of the United Nations. Here, what the dictator Isaias Afwerki is saying is that he rejects the two-state solution, which includes Jerusalem as a shared city, but he has his own proposal where Palestine and Jordan can join together to form a Transjordan state. This is impossible. This is just a non-existent proposal, and it undermines what the international community is working on the rights of the Palestinian people since they start their struggle for self-determination. And proposing for another resolution or to create Palestine and Jordan as a one country, this is very just what I can say, it is a very shame reasoning, because Palestine deserve their own independent state. They have a land where they claim, both historically and through the international agreement, as well as what they accept to be the final and binding solution. And when countries like Eritrea, who were recognized by Arab countries to have an independent country, now this independent country rejects the rights of the Palestinian people to be a sovereign state and to have a seat in the United Nations, is morally unacceptable and historically a wrong position. For us, for Eritreans, we have been betrayed by this APLF regime, now the PFDJ, People's Front for Democracy and Justice. We have been betrayed since the Independence Day, and PFDJ not only it betrayed the Eritreans, but also it has betrayed all those countries or people that help us during our struggle for independence. And my message to the Palestinian people or to the all international community is that the ruling regime in Eritrea does not represent us. It is an illegitimate country. The government, it is a regime that is controlling the Eritrean sovereign government without any constitution, and it is ruling the country by fear but not by rule of law. Any position or any current position that is taken by the ruling regime of PFDJ doesn't reflect the true view or opinion of Eritreans. And we as a people, we need to support the Palestinian rights to have their own state, and Jerusalem is a shared state according to the international agreement. And the move which is taken by Trump to recognize Jerusalem as a capital city of Israel, a big mistake, and it endangers the peace within the Middle East and maybe the peace in the world. For this reason, we Eritreans have a historical responsibility to be on the side of the Palestinian people and reject US decision, as well as to call Israel respect the international agreement and respect the rights of Palestinian people to live in their own sovereign land in peace and dignity. And for those Eritreans now living in Israel, we know what is happening for them or for you. You are not recognized as refugees when you are political refugees. Israel is not respecting your rights. It is even planning to deport Eritreans to a third country like Rwanda. Israel did a historical mistake before during our armed struggle, and now it is planning to deport Eritreans which deserve a political refuge and live in Israel under the protection of the Geneva Convention. And I call for Israel to respect the rights of Eritreans, and I call for all Eritreans to demand for your rights and stand clearly both from historical point of view and from human rights perspective to voice your voices and to call for the Israeli government to take its responsibility. And for Palestine, my message is, we are with you as a person. I'm talking from my perspective, and I believe those Eritreans who know what their history is, who know what a human right is, they respect the two-state solution, and Jerusalem is a shared state, and you have a right to live there in peace. This is what I can say in regard to my stand on this recent decision. I hope I have clarified my statement clearly. Again, as an Eritrean human rights defender and political activist, I have a responsibility to fight for the rights of the Palestinian people, and from historical point of view, I continue what we stood before for the right of the Palestinian people. Thank you. May peace be with the Palestinian people. May Jerusalem continue to be their home city. Bye.